look, I'm not voting for either one of them. I'm not voting for either president running for re-election. It's not going to happen. What we're doing in Gaza, our support for Israel's genocide there makes Biden unacceptable to me, period. I will not vote for that. I will not be part of that. I will not feel any complicity. I'm not going to vote for Trump. So many ways. Trump could be, his rhetoric is even worse on Israel. And there's other areas where Trump is terrible too, of course. So I'm not voting for either one. Just trying to set the record straight. I don't think Trump is going to win. I was very, very clear about this on Tuesday. I thought that focus group that the New York Times convened with Frank Luntz made it clear. He ain't winning. Newsweek has a really interesting kind of a series. Well, I won't say series. Three articles that came out where they talk about whether Trump, and they use the term, I like it, is Trump, well, they say he's toast. He's toast if primary voters keep abandoning him. At least that's the word from a guy named Mike Madrid. I think I've seen Madrid on CNN. He's called a GOP strategist. I don't know. How do you get to be a GOP strategist? How do you get to be a Democratic strategist? Just call yourself that? Do you have to go to school and get a degree in strategizing or strategizing or whatever it is? Strategizing? I don't know. But whatever Madrid is, presumably he is a GOP strategist. He laid down a marker for Trump in the primaries. He said Trump needs, let's just get this right up so you can see it. He needs 90% of the vote. This is June 3rd. The primary is June 4th. If he can't get 90% of the vote, he's likely toast. It may not sound like much, but that kind of hemorrhaging isn't unprecedented. And it isn't unprecedented to some people, but you got to go back pretty deep to get to those numbers. So guess what? At least if Madrid is right, I'm looking at Trump in Wisconsin, or not Wisconsin, New Mexico. Wisconsin? What the hell was I thinking? Looking at him in New Mexico, and I'm like, I guess he's toast. Right? I mean, he must be toast because if you look at that, I mean, he suffered a huge vote against him. So I looked at those. I mean, huge is obviously a relative term. Is it huge? I don't know if I'd quite call it huge. But it wasn't what he wanted, at least according to Mike Madrid. It couldn't be what he wanted, according to Madrid, because Madrid said you can't lose more than 10%, right? And there you go. Trump got 84.5%, which to my math means he lost 15.5%. He lost more than 50% more than he was told by Madrid he couldn't lose, or he's toast. The problem with that analysis, and by the way, I wanted to adopt it, not because I really care if Trump wins or I don't, right? I mean, assuming it's the binary world, it's either Trump or Biden, I don't care. It just doesn't matter to me. But my argument is Trump's going to lose, so therefore you can vote for Jill Stein without any, and I wouldn't have any compunction. I don't care if voting for Jill Stein helps Trump. That doesn't matter to me because I don't care whether it's Trump or Biden. They're both equally bad, in my opinion, or they're both so bad that the difference isn't meaningful enough for me to care, to sweat it. I can't. That's my view. So I want you to vote. I really do. I want you to vote for Jill Stein. I want her to get a lot of votes. That's important to me. And when I saw this number, oh, well, he's toast. Mike Madrid just said he's toast if he can't get 90% of the vote in New Mexico, and he only got 84.5%, so he's toast. But there's a problem with that argument because the other president running for president only got 83 points. So he didn't even he got less than Trump. Neither one got to 90%. And according to Madrid, you got to go back far. The problem with these strategists is that they're just giving sound bites. They're just tweeting, hoping to get lots of shares and lots of likes and retweets. So really, you look at those numbers from New Mexico and you can't conclude anything. I'll conclude this. The vast majority of voters in both parties is it the Lobo State? Is New Mexico the Lobo State? Land of Enchantment? Maybe it's Land of Enchantment. The majority of voters there, the great majority, are fine with the two candidates. A few aren't. That's as far as I'll go. I can't go beyond that. I can't say, oh yeah, Trump's toast. How could I say he's toast because he doesn't get 90% of the vote in a primary when Biden doesn't even get as many votes as Trump? And going to New Jersey doesn't help much because that was the other primary. In New Jersey, let's see, do I have that right? Let's do Biden first. Trump, there wasn't a primary in New Jersey. Apparently, Trump, I'll call that up. I had a lot of trouble getting GOP numbers. They pretty much called it off because I guess the New Jersey Republican Party didn't even want to do it. I'm not really clear on that. Biden did a little better in Jersey than he did in New Mexico. He got almost 80, he got 88+%, whereas he only got 83.5% in New Mexico. Still didn't get to that 90% magic figure, according to Mike Madrid. Uncommitted didn't even get 9%. Most voters, I hate to say it, it bothers me. This is something that really keeps me up at night, is most voters don't seem to care that much about Gaza. It's awful, but it's not a primary issue for you. And this tells me one more thing. This is why Democrats, or we, progressives, have to be always focused on economic justice, on a better deal for poor, struggling, working class voters. If you, like me, are privileged, you have the luxury of saying, I really feel bad for those children being bombed in Gaza. But if you're like, I could get laid off tomorrow and I could be homeless in a month, right? Some people, that's their life. If I get laid off, I'll be homeless. And I could be laid off. My best friend was laid off. My sister was laid off. I could be laid off. I could be homeless. That's what people think about. That's their lives. They don't have, sadly, many of them don't have the luxury of thinking about much else besides their own circumstances. If we on the left really want to stop genocide and we want to stop ecocide, make sure everybody has enough. Real quick, let's get to the Trump numbers. They do have numbers. So Mike Madrid, I guess, would have to conclude Trump's in good shape over, based on the numbers out of New Jersey. Here he got he got just under 97%. So Madrid says Trump needed 90%. In New Jersey, he got 97%. So with all that, I'm going to tell you, I still think Trump is. I don't think he's going to win. People don't like Joe Biden, but the words of one of those undecided voters in the Frank Luntz focus group keep coming back to me. I'm not voting for a felon, and that is who Donald Trump is right now. He's a felon, and I cannot see, and I firmly, strongly believe he will not be reelected. All right, folks, great chatting with you, great talking with you. Thank you for letting me be part of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow for the free-for-all.